pitfalls to avoid when building your home extension are vast, okay? I'll talk about some of them today. The most obvious pitfalls to avoid when building your home extension, especially coming from us, would be your build team. Don't just jump in and get the first builder that gives you a quotation, okay? That can be absolutely catastrophic. We've all seen and heard the horror stories from a bad tradesman, okay? Slow down, hire slow, and you can fire fast. But the idea here is that you are very slow and meticulous. Make sure your values are aligned when you're picking your tradesman, okay? That is a huge pitfall. Jumping into a tradesman when you don't know him, he's poor recommendations, and you've not seen his previous work. Make sure you go and see his previous work. Number one top tip for the day, okay? So first pitfall, poor quality tradesman, right? Slow down. Don't jump into the first tradesman that you get recommended to. When people are recommending tradespeople, where are they recommending them from? Do they know them from down the pub, or have they done something previous? If they have, go and see it, because someone else's recommendation might be a different value to what you value, okay? The level of quality in there might differ, so make sure you go and check it so that you've got peace of mind that it meets your expectations, okay? That's the first pitfall. The second pitfall will be the product material specification, the type of material that you choose for your build. Is it sustainable and you want more green products on your build? Okay. Is it going to last the expectation that you want it to? The most obvious one that I could talk about today, because it's a bit of a buzz trend in construction right now when it comes to home extensions, is the really lovely, glamorous render. People want render on their rear extensions, but they don't know the pitfalls of picking render over a brick. Brick is a tried and tested product. It's more resistant to weathering. And the reason I say this is, like, it'll depend on the location of where you are. If you're out in the sticks, in the woods, for example, then what you'll find is that the discoloration on render is way more noticeable than brick. A brick product is more long-standing than a render, okay? Render on the front of a build, you're going to get the traffic from roads, and it discolors the render, okay? So you need to be very, very clear on which product types you pick using the render versus the brick as an obvious solution, okay? UPVC windows and doors versus, say, aluminium. Aluminium can be a little bit more colder, a bit more expensive, but again, these factors will have a big, big difference when it comes to pitfalls in your build. So if you choose your specification and you ask your build team to quote off your specification, don't be shocked when the feedback comes back a bit more expensive than what maybe you expect. If you're wanting to include a sustainable product, more of a sustainable build, then you need to understand that there is a cost difference between a traditional build and a sustainable build, okay? Things today, we've seen the shift in the UK, it's going from gas into more air source heat pump or solar or ground source heat pump, things like that, okay? The two products are not aligned as such. Because we're pushing more of these sustainable green products, they are a little bit more pricey as it is today. So you might need to allow a bit more. Eventually those costs will come down, but gas, bear in mind, is getting switched off in the UK as it stands today. So just bear in mind, those two pitfalls on product specification could have a big impact from you as well. Another one, again, I've spoke about this before, it's the most obvious one. We see this more common than other pitfalls, and it's the team from an architect to the engineers and designers through to your build team, making sure that you've got all three that play tic-tac-toe together. I've spoke about this before. We've had architects design something that remotely looks like what you want, but the level of detail isn't there. That can be transferred through to your structural engineers. Well, structural engineers don't necessarily always come out to site. They can do what they need to do off the plan. So one of the pitfalls that you could get is that the plan isn't too detailed and that your structural engineers will price and design off that drawing. They will give that information to your build team, who will then order off of that plan. That could result in a catastrophic discrepancy within your build if it's wrong, and it can be wrong from the original design. So again, just making sure that everybody is sense checking and referencing that all parties work together to prevent these costly delays.